Monday morning, October the 14th, 2024. Ted Williams, Hall of Fame. I'm covering his videos. I'm covering in these videos his seasons from 1939 through 1960. This video, 1950 season. How did he do? A down year for Ted Williams. 89 games. Got hurt. 334 at bats, 82 runs scored. That breaks his string of 100 run scored seasons in a row. So he's down to 82. 106 hits, 24 doubles, 1 triple, 28 homers though. In 89 games, 28 homers. Not bad. And 97 RBIs. That breaks his string of 8 consecutive 100 RBI seasons. And he gets 97. And it was only 89 games. That was more than an RBI a game. Not bad. In fact, very good. 3 stolen bases, 82 walks. That's 317. So he continues his string of 300 or better batting average seasons. 9 in a row. How about that? 452 on base, 647 slugging. If you slug 500, you're good. And Ted Williams is at 647. 216 total bases. That breaks a string of 8 consecutive 300 total base seasons. He had a 12-game hitting streak, 25 multi-hit games, 18 two-hit games, 6 3-hit games, 2 4-hit games. 19 games, 2 runs scored. 4 games, 3 runs scored. 16 games, 2 RBIs. 4 games, 3 RBIs. 2 games, 4 RBIs. 1 5 RBI game. 1 6 RBI game. And he gets another 7 RBI game. You know how many he's had? 7 RBIs in a game? 1. Let's see. 2, 3. This is the 4th game for Ted Williams having 7 RBIs in a game. Of course, he has 1 8 RBI game. So 1950, you can consider that year a wasted opportunity for Ted Williams. Why? Because his career stats are incredible. They really are. I'm going to pull him up on Baseball Reference. Here he is. So he starts in 1939. Plays 4 years through 1942. And every year he's got 100 runs scored, 100 RBIs, bats over 300, and over 300 total bases. And he's averaging 30 homers a year. So he misses 1943, 44, and 45. In his prime, he would have been 24, 25, and 26 years old. So those are 3 years of stats that we could say what could have been for Ted Williams' career totals. So he comes back 1946, 47, 48, and 49. And again is averaging 100 runs, 100 RBIs, 30 homers, and 300 total bases, and over 300 batting seasons. But in 1950, he's down to 89 games, yet still gets 97 RBIs. He could have had 100 if he just played a little bit more. And he would have had 100 runs scored again if he just played a little bit more that season. That's a what if. He'd still batted over 300, and he would have had over 300 total bases. So just consider 3 years of stats that we don't know about because of the military service. And then this is almost, it's like It's more than a half a season, but he missed 63 games. Just think if he had played another 50. 3 years of military plus another 50 this season. Did you know he ended up with 1,798 runs scored? So add those 3 years, what if, and the 60 games in 1950, he would have had over 2,000 runs scored. Add the 3 years of the military plus the 60 games in 1950, he would have had over 2,200 runs batted in because he ended up with 1,839. Add the 3 years he missed plus another 60 this year, 50, he would have had over 650 homers. And he, with the total bases, he had 4,884 his career. He would have been up to 6,000 total bases. Also, he may have had another 400 batting season. We don't know in that 3 years because he was in his prime, remember. And the 60 games here would have increased his average. He ended up with 344 career. He may have been 346, 47, 48. Maybe Ted Williams would have ended up with a 350 batting average if you add those 3 years plus another 60 games here in 1950. What if for Ted Williams? Still, his career numbers are outstanding. And later on in his career, you want to hear another strange fact? 1952, he only played 6 games. I think he was in the Korean War. And then in 1953, he played 37. Here's another 250 or 300 games possible for Ted Williams. He did pick it up 1954, but it missed about 45 games. In 1955, 98 games, so he misses another 60. 56, 136 games. 57, 132 games, so he's missing about 20 there. You know what I'm going to do when I'm done with all these videos with Ted Williams? I'm going to do a what if. He played 2,292 games. If Ted Williams had played 3,000 games, because remember, Stan Musial, Ty Cobb, and Tris Speaker, well, Ty Cobb and Stan Musial are over 3,000 games. Tris Speaker is about 2,800. And Babe Ruth was 2,500. Lou Gehrig was about 2,200. I think, just for the fun of it, what if Ted Williams had another 800 games? Let's say he is over 3,000 games played. What would his career numbers be? I surmise that Ted Williams, if he played 3,000 games, would have ended up with 2,200 runs scored, 3,500 hits, maybe 700 homers. Maybe. Close to it. 23 or 2,400 runs batted in. And he would have had over 6,000 total bases. And I believe Ted Williams would have been in the 350 career batting average if he had an extra 800 games. He was that good. What a player. All right, 1950 season is done, 89 games. What does he do in 1951? Stay tuned. I'm out.